recently I have gotten my hands on a rift gum, and I thought it would make a pretty good video to go through and use the rift gum to, well, show how good it is, and also because many people that I know watch my content probably don't have access to rift gum, and so would really like to know what it does. Another thing I'm tackling with this video is a lot of the misinformation in regards to rift gum's multiplier, and many other things that a lot of people have said in regards to rift gum. Now, before I got into using the rift gum, I decided that I'd first do a few sweeps through the void, since every ghost in the void will drop gems, so it's a very good way to check how much your gem multipliers does. And because on my main I have both double gems and some bonus gems from my rebirth perks, I decided that I would go through one time without anything in my main, then one time through with the gem gum, glitchy gem gum, so I can make sure that the multiplier works correctly, how you would think, rather than working some other way, since there's many ways that you can actually make multipliers work together that are technically accurate. For instance, if you have multipliers that just add together, that is completely alright. But in this case, I decided to do all that testing. Another thing that I did is I used an alt that has neither double gems nor any rebirths yet, so it has no gem boosts whatsoever, to get some base multipliers with both without the gem gum and also with the gem gum. Total collecting of this information took me about 30 to 40 minutes, and it was actually kind of painstaking. But the results of this were as follows. Now, to get this data, I compounded all of the gem drops into a single list, and then took the averages of all those lists and compared them together. What I found was what the expected result of having gem gum do exactly 4 times to my base, and then the normal compared to the boosted being the 2.6 that comes from the 2 times in a 1.3 times multiplier. And then also the boosted with gem multiplier, it came out to be about 4 times the boosted rate. Of course, these data points were only with, as shown in the top, some of them were less than 60 data points, so it might not be the most accurate data in the world. But these gave me enough knowledge that I knew that the multipliers were working how I wanted them to be. And with all this in knowledge, it was time to go test to see what the rift gum would do. Anyways, I want to preface all the data collection with the fact that all of this data will be linked in the description of this video. All the collections will be linked in a separate YouTube video. And the data used that I compiled will be linked into a spreadsheet. So if you want, you can go check out those. And now time for the results. As for glitchy rift gum, I got 2 minutes out of it, which equated to exactly 60 ghosts. I managed to do one cycle of all 5 islands, each of them had 12. The conclusion, the average of that data was almost exactly 55 times, or 155 times the regular multiplier with just boosted. And in terms of multiplier, this leaves the multiplier to be about 50 times per each rift gum, probably closer to 51.3. But that seems to be pretty significant difference than the 100 or 1,000 that many people keep trying to say the rift gums. In following the other rules of other gums, for example, all the luck gum and also gem gum, which the basic gives a basic gem gum gives double your drops, ghostly gives triple, and glitchy gives quadruple, and then combine that with lucky, which gives a 1.5 for basic, a 2 times for ghostly, and then 2.5 times for glitchy luck. That model basically adds a certain amount each time, starting with a base of 1. So for lucky gum, it adds 0.5 multiplier each time, so it goes from 1.5 to 2 to 2.5. And then for gems and all the other gums like loot and other stuff, it goes from 2 plus 1 to 3 plus 1 to 4. So using that same ideal, I subtracted 1 from the multiplier to get 154, then divide that by 3 to get exactly 51.33 multiplier for each of the for each different stage of rift gum. So you'll get basically a 52 multiplier for basic, 103 multiplier for grossly, and then 155 for rift. Now, of course, these numbers are completely theoretical and based on this single data set. It is quite reliable since it does have over 10 data points and closer to 60 for most important stuff. So this is the current best guess that we have for the estimate. Of course, with statistics, you could say it's somewhere within a range of like 3. But with that all being said, that concludes my video for how good RiftGum is. If you like this content and want to see more random stuff like this, I would love to hear your opinion in the comments. Of course, this content really isn't too good. Like, watching through it, I've realized it's quite dry, so might not be doing too much more of it. But with that said, thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.